Hello, people! I've actually been consumed with something quite random lately, and I just feel the urge to talk about it. It's quite ridiculous. Like the other day, I was a bit tired because I stayed up the previous night pretty late reading, but it wasn't like curled in bed with a good book, the way you might imagine. I was actually on my laptop reading a piece of fan fiction, and I still do that occasionally. It's just that I'm not so much. I just don't read much anymore in general. So it's not about it being fanfic. Really, it's about me not reading in general. I bought a couple of books last year, in fact, but I didn't read any of them. But and I haven't been into anything, to be honest. I realized that like I haven't. Usually, it's been TV shows with me, and I haven't been too into something that I want to seek out fan fiction or trivia or other fans and like be in the fandom and the fan community. I've just been like, oh, that's a cool show, or oh, that's a cool thing, and I haven't really been like crazy about it for a couple of years now, I think. And but occasionally I will read fan fiction, especially if someone else recommends something that is like, hey, I know that you like this and this show, and even though you're not actively into it right now, this is pretty good, or whatever. And a lot of all fan fiction is not about getting two characters together. It's not all about shipping people, relationshipping them together. And a lot of fan fiction is actually better than published books, and whether they're related to the thing itself or not. Because in my day, when I liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer, for example, I read actually like published works that was like, fan fiction, but actually published book of it, and it was pretty bad. And things that you could just find on the internet, often, yes, written by like teenage girls, it was better. And then the older I got, the more like adults there were, depending on what show I liked. So the fiction that I read was often very, very good. So a little bit defensive of fan fiction, yeah. But I started talking with my friend Q about Harry Potter, which is obviously a franchise that I'm not actively into right now, but I was when I was younger. And when I was a little bit older, it was like 2003. So I wasn't super young, but I wasn't super old either. I started like being so into it that I made a lot of friends on this website, hogwarts.nu, a Swedish website that had message boards and different things. And I mentioned it before, and I was there, and a lot of people were writing and posting in the forum there, in the message boards, Swedish stuff, and some was mediocre, and some was really good. A lot of it was kind of cracky, funny humor stuff, and other things. What is the cat doing on the counter? Hey, please exit the area. Exit the area like you can exit a counter. Of course you can. Where was I? Yes, and I read a lot of funny stuff, serious stuff, sad stuff, happy stuff, characters getting together, falling in love, some of it very like silly and only made for humor. There was a lot of comic relief in it, but other things were like really serious and really, really fought to make it very, very real, and that those are the good ones. And I consumed pretty much everything, and a lot of it was very short too, to be honest. So I just kind of read a lot of different things. And I discovered someone had written Harry Draco, as in them getting crushes on each other, and I was like, they hate each other. How can that ever happen? But I ended up realizing that the premise was this sort of Romeo and Juliet-esque thing where, is that what it comes from? Is that where... Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm just realizing that Harry Potter and the pairing Harry Draco probably actually maybe because I love like doomed loves, when you have to like one of my favorite movies is like this most completely ridiculous action adventure thing, fantasy action adventure from the 80s called Lady Hawk. It has like Rutger Hauer as the hero, and it's like super amazing. And a tiny Matthew Broderick as the main character. and a very beautiful. Anyway, let's not talk about Lady Hawk. But yes, so they're like cursed and they can't be together, but they want to be together, and and it's like I've always loved this kind of when you really, really have to fight for it, that the love is so strong that you go across, all these, the harder it is, the stronger it's like, ah. I've always loved that, kind of impossible. Even, I remember when I started watching them Buffy, which was also pretty late, it was in like 2004, 2005, and I was like, oh my god, Buffy an Angel, because she's like the Slayer, but he's a vampire, she's a vampire Slayer, and he's a vampire. And that was the same thing, that they couldn't really be together. I'm noticing that now. Does this all stem from Harry Draco? God damn it. And I realized that if it was well written, it made perfect sense, and I loved it, just as fiction. I wasn't necessarily sure that I could, like, see it in the books, but I was like, yeah, I could see them together, just, like, in a fantasy. That was great. And I found a couple that were really well written, and I got, like, super hooked on it, and the fact that they were both boys, like, added to it, because I felt like, oh no, society, and then they're teenagers, and it's difficult enough to fall in love as it is, and now they're like kind of enemies and rivals, but not, and yet they kind of, and it was just amazing, and wow, yeah, so that's probably where that comes from. And I just I read a lot of Swedish stuff, but then I realized that English things was easier to find more of, and good, like well-written stuff. And a thing going around with like a handful of friends that also liked this pairing was this English fan fiction that was well-written and very long. It had like 15 chapters, and they were long, and it was like reading a whole novel, and it was amazing. And I read that, and it must have been in like 2003. I don't know if it was early on, I think so. And that was one of the first, if not like the first major English fanfictions that I read. And I've always talked about occasionally, it's been like maybe 6 years now or something, but I've been like, hey, maybe I should read it again. And Q actually has. She read it again, like, it was a couple of years after we first read it, so it was like kind of nostalgic and weird, sentimental and odd. But she said it was decent, and but now I realized, oh no, it's been forever. It's probably really, really bad. This piece of hair annoys me. Great, Mac. Great. and okay, guys, I looked it up and I started reading it again. It changes point of view, kind of completely randomly throughout different paragraphs, which is just a bit odd. And everything's a metaphor, honestly. Everything is a metaphor. It's like poetic word poop all around. Like, there's the narration, and then there's just descriptive things of, everything like that is a metaphor. I swear to God. And I'm sitting here like, oh my god, this is not Max Payne. Can we just skip the metaphors? And so it's not the best, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I wouldn't call it bad. And I'm reading it now, and I've like consumed chapter after chapter, and it's just like, it's weird because I only remember like one thing. And yesterday I discovered the scene that I remember when I read it, and I was like, oh my god, that's from here, and it's just amazing. So now I'm currently reading Harry Draco / I was gonna say Harry Potter, but Harry Potter / Draco Malfoy. It's like, wait, Harry Draco / what? Yeah, so, and I can't stop reading. It's so like sentimental and charming. It's like not bad, but not good either, and it's so charming. And guys, it's weird, but amazing. So that's what I'm doing. Surely you don't have much else to say to that. I mean, what could you possibly have to yeah. I win. I think I win. Which, speaking of all of that, guess what? This is surprising. I'm gonna make tea. And I'm gonna sit down with my laptop, or possibly my iPad. My laptop, let's be real. I'm gonna see if someone's online on Skype. I'm gonna check my emails, and then I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read more. I definitely need to read more. It's gonna be interesting. I feel like I am 15 again, or something, or like 18. I was actually most into it when I was 17 and 18. And I even wrote my own Harry Draco story. But we'll end it there. Many years ago, that is. Not now. Not yesterday. Although it wouldn't matter if I did. Nah, but I didn't. But I wrote it many years ago. It's very bad. It's very charming. It's very bad. So that's what I'm doing with my life. And because of that, I'm obviously wearing my Hufflepuff t-shirt. Yeah. So bye. Oh God.